Way upstairs with a fastball. It's 2-2. 92 miles an hour on that pitch from Bassett, sponsored by Spectrum. Cronenworth grounded to first his first time. Will Myers and Ha-Sung Kim follow him here in the top half of the fourth. Bassett stares in, gets ready as Tomas Nido delivers the sign. The 2-2 pitch. It's down and in, ball 3. A fastball missed from Bassett. Infield pulled to the right, outfield pretty much straight away. Cronenworth got off to a really slow start in the first couple months of this season. Got hot in June and July, made the All-Star team. And finished with 88 runs batted in on the year as Bassett wants a new baseball. He chucks the one he had toward the Mets dugout. And now gets a new one that he seems to like. Count 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. And it's in there. Strike 3 called. A sinker over the inner half of the plate. Cronenworth take it. And he takes strike 3. Both strikeouts for Bassett now tonight have been looking. And there's one out here in the fourth. Will Myers will be the batter now.
Cronenworth now 0 for 10 in the series and has struck out 5 times.
The Mets have held him in check. Now Myers the batter. He grounded to short his first time. Bassett dealing. First pitch hit in the air toward right center, fairly deep. Nimmo shoots over to the gap, gets to it, makes the catch on the warning track. Right before the 380 sign in right center field, that's where Nimmo stopped his tracks as he runs down that liner off the bat of Myers. So 2 up, 2 down, and 6 in a row. Retired now by Bassett. The batter will be Kim. Scoreboard update brought to you by the New York Lottery. Newest scratch-off games are on sale now. Try your luck today, and you could bring home a win. The matchups are set for the division series, except for who the Dodgers will play. It'll be the Mets or the Padres, depending on tonight's winner. The Braves will play the Phillies Tuesday afternoon. In the American League, it's Cleveland against the Yankees Tuesday night, and Seattle at Houston Tuesday late afternoon. First pitch to Kim. Slider outside, ball 1. The Dodgers have not announced a starter yet. They don't even know their opponent yet. Andrew Friedman, the Dodgers president of baseball operations, said they will use the clock. 1-0. Fastball down and in, ball 2. And the Dodgers, I'm sure, will reveal their starter for Tuesday night as soon as they know who they're going to play. Very likely it'll be Julio Urias or Clayton Kershaw, though. 2 balls and no strikes. Bassett comes home. And Kim takes down and in, ball 3. So Kim, who walked with 2 outs in the second, setting up Grisham, who did the same before Nola's base hit. There's another count in his favor. 3 balls, no strikes. 2-0 Padres, 4th inning. Bassett comes home. Kim shows bunt and pulls it back to take ball 4 inside. So Bassett walks Ha-Sung Kim for the second time tonight. 3rd free pass issued by Bassett. And the Padres get a base runner with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. Trent Grisham will be the batter now. Grisham making some Padres history by homering in back-to-back playoff games. Only 2 Padres had ever done that before. Ken Caminiti in 1996 and Jim Leyritz in 1998. But also made some other kind of history by homering off Cy Young Award winners in back-to-back playoff games. The last player to do that was Murph in his crazy 2015 run. First pitch, Kim is running. It's outside, throw to second by Nido. Kim is safe. Ha-Sung Kim, the Padres' stolen base leader over the course of the regular season, had 12 stolen bases on a team that doesn't run a lot. He runs a little, at least enough. So he needs some attention paid to him, and Kim took off on the very first pitch. Nido with a good throw did all he could, but Kim beat it easily. So now 1 ball, no strikes to count on Grisham, with Kim in scoring position. 2 outs, top of the 4th. And the Mets have a 2-0 deficit on their hands. The pitch. Grisham looks at a strike. Cutter over the inner part of the plate, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Grisham. As home runs Murphy hit off Cy Young winners in back-to-back games came off of Kershaw and Greinke. Then he hit one later off Arrieta, the 1-1. Grisham lines one to center. It's past Lindor into center field, a base hit. Kim rounds third. He will score easily. Nimmo's throw is cut off, and Trent Grisham strikes again. It's a 2-out RBI single. All 3 Padre runs now have scored with 2 outs, and it is 3-0 San Diego here in the 4th.
Now, Seth Lugo was up in the Mets bullpen, which is particularly interesting because Lugo pitched Friday night as well as last night, and he's not a guy that you usually see pitching in 3 straight games. But he is the first man up as the Padres open their lead up.
Grisham hit a rocket up the middle just out of Lindor's reach. He was close but couldn't grab it. As Bassett throws to first and Grisham dives back, but a 2-out walk and a stolen base, and these walks to the bottom part of the Padre order are really biting Bassett tonight. Here's Austin Nola, 2-run single in the second, gave the Padres the lead. Throw to first as Grisham dives back. Lugo has never pitched in 3 straight games. The workload was pretty light yesterday, at least on the mound. He only needed 4 pitches to end the ball game.
I think that's with Soto looming a couple of batters away yet.
Well, maybe even Profar's next pitch here. Nola, it's a high fly, shallow right. This inning likely won't get to Profar. Marte comes in and makes a one-handed catch, but Bassett's given up another run, another 2-out run due to a 2-out walk before it. 1 out, 1 run, 1 hit, and 1 left. We'll go to the bottom of the 4th inning. It's 3-0 San Diego on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
You don't need to get personal, like revealing you love to smell your cat's breath. To get the State Farm Personal Price Plan, just call or go to statefarm.com for a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's a dangerous time not to know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer? NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/pitch right now. netsuite.com/pitch. netsuite.com/pitch.
Trent Grisham, who batted .184 during the regular season and barely over 100 over the final month, has delivered some huge moments for the Padres in this series against the Mets. Home run off Max Scherzer on Friday, a homer off DeGrom yesterday. Grisham scored all 3 Padre runs last night, and he's driven in another run here to help the Padres extend their lead. But the Mets, down by 3, have the top of their order up here in the bottom of the 4th inning, looking for their first hit and even first base runner against Joe Musgrove. It's Nimmo, Marte, and Lindor against Musgrove here in the 4th inning. 3-0 Padres. First pitch, Nimmo takes outside, ball 1.
David Peterson is throwing in the Mets bullpen. They always prefer to give him a clean inning anyway. And so it may well be that Peterson starts the 5th inning, or 4th inning, pardon. Yeah, 5th inning.
Top of the order will be up to lead off the top of the 5th. 1-0 pitch. Nimmo takes outside again, ball 2. Second time through the order now for the Mets against Joe Musgrove. Mentioned his struggles in the middle innings this year. And we've reached the middle innings. We'll see if the Mets can get to Musgrove. 3-0 Padres. Bottom of the 4th. 2-0 pitch. Nimmo takes a strike over the outside corner. It was borderline, a cutter. And Musgrove got the call. It's 2 balls and 1 strike on Nimmo. Infield pulled to the right. Machado well off the line at third. Outfield shades to left. Now Profar moves toward left center a little bit. 2-1. Nimmo, it's a roller to the right side, broken back. Cronenworth grabs it, throws to first for the out. And Musgrove continues to mow down the Mets, 10 straight to start the game. The pace of the game brought to you by Optimum.com. Now delivering the fastest internet up to 1 gig. Joe Musgrove has paced right through the Mets offense to this point, 10 up, 10 down. He's only thrown 36 pitches. The Padres were plenty confident in having Musgrove, the San Diego area native, out there for this game, this winner-take-all ball game. Now Starling Marte stands in with 1 out, nobody on here in the 4th inning. Musgrove comes home. Marte takes a strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Musgrove wears 44 on the back of his jersey because of a former Padres Cy Young Award winner. He loved Jake Peavy. The Padres have not had a home playoff game since Peavy was in their rotation. The 0-1, a breaking ball low and outside. Marte could not hold his swing. He went around, according to Alfonso Marquez at first. It's 0-2. In 2020, the Padres made the playoffs, but it was an expanded playoff with no fans, a similar situation where they played some games in St. Louis, and then the division series was at a neutral site. 0-2. Marte, it's a chopper left side, easy for Machado, a hip-high grab, fires it chest high to Myers at first, and there's 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. But if the Padres win this game tonight, well, they'll host Game 3 of the division series next Friday at Petco Park, and it'll be the first playoff game at Petco Park in 16 years. It'll be against the Dodgers. Mets Up is the official podcast of your New York Mets, hosted by Mark Luino and James Schiano. New episodes dropped after each postseason game, so check out Mets Up today. Find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you get your podcasts. 2 out, nobody on. Here's Lindor. First pitch. Breaking ball down and in, ball 1. 11 up, 11 down for Joe Musgrove so far tonight. The Padres lead the Mets 3-0 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Midfield overshifted to the right for Lindor, batting left-handed. 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a strike over the inside corner. There's a cutter, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Lindor. Outfield is deep and shaded toward right. 1 ball, 1 strike. Musgrove comes home. Down and in, ball 2. The Mets have made contact with the exception of Nito. It's been a lot of soft contact. Most of the balls have been hit on the infield. The only one to reach the outfield was Alonso's broken bat fly out in the 2nd to Jurickson Profar. Everything else has been handled by the Padre infield. 2-1. Lindor whiffs on a fastball away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Musgrove on the far first base side of the rubber. Working from his windup, left leg kick, 2-2 pitch. Lindor fouls one off his foot. And the count still 2 balls, 2 strikes as Lindor doubles over for a moment. He's slow to get up as he fouled that ball pretty roughly off his right foot, so he's going to try to walk that off. Pete Alonso comes over from the on-deck circle to check on Lindor. Now Buck Showalter heads out as well, as Lindor is still bent over at the waist. He's going to get a visit from Joe Golio, one of the Mets trainers.
Take a look at a replay here and see exactly where it got him. Looked like it got him on the right knee. That might have been right on the kneecap.
Those foul balls off the knee are more of a painful and exposed area. He's got padding over his right ankle. It certainly was off the knee, so Lindor is going to get some extra time here to try to get some feeling back in that leg and finish this at bat. Buck Showalter
is playing bat boy.
Yep, going to get the bat right now. He's going to hand it to Lindor and maybe offer a word of encouragement or two. Well, Francisco's daughter, Kalina, as the crowd reacts to Buck Showalter, manager slash bat boy here, and Lindor staying in this game. Francisco's young daughter on the podium with her dad last night kept looking for Buck. And Lindor said she loves Buck. Well, I guess that's why. He takes good care of her dad. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Lindor. Three nothing. The Padres lead here in the bottom of the 4th. 2-2. Musgrove's pitch. Lindor takes a little bit low, ball 3.
Francisco's still a little uncomfortable. He walks outside the batter's box, flexes that leg a couple of times, now hops up on it once or twice.
He's worked a full count. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Musgrove comes home. The payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lindor might have chased ball 4. Was up and away. And Musgrove, with his second strikeout, has worked his 4th consecutive 1-2-3 inning to start this game. We'll head to the 5th in this best-of-3 wild card series. Game 3. It's the Padres 3, the Mets nothing on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's a dangerous time not to know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer? NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/pitch right now. netsuite.com/pitch. netsuite.com/pitch.
Hey Mets fans, this is Luis Guillorme. Whether we are on the road or playing at home in Queens, hear every pitch on the flagship station for Mets baseball, WCBS News Radio 880.
The Mets are down by 3. Chris Bassett is done after 4 innings as the Mets send David Peterson into the game, so they'll get into their bullpen now. Peterson will face the top of the San Diego order here. Profar, Soto, and Machado. It was the bottom of the order that's done all the damage tonight. A couple of walks to Ha-Sung Kim really set the Mets back. Austin Nola, the #9 batter, has a 2-run single. Trent Grisham, the 8 hitter, with a run-scoring base hit. And now Bassett, after allowing 3 runs in 4 innings, gives way to David Peterson. Top of the 5th, 3-0 San Diego. In this winner-take-all, Mets need to hold it right here with the play-by-play. Here's Howie.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. First pitch to Profar, batting right-handed, is on the outside corner. A fastball, 0-1. Profar lined out to right, popped out to short. Peterson pitched an inning on Friday night. The Padres led 7-1 by then. The 0-1 swung out and missed. The slider, 0-2. Well, the Mets really liked the way Peterson threw the ball on Friday night. He was very aggressive. He got 3 good hitters in order: Machado, Bell, and Cronenworth, the first and third via strikeout. The 0-2 bounce foul over by the on-deck circle on the third base side. The count 0-2 with Soto on deck. Machado to follow as we come to you live from the Bob Murphy broadcast booth. Proudly presented by Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. The 0-2. Low with a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Chris Bassett went 4. Gave up 3 hits and 3 runs. Walking 3, that was the killer. Striking out 2, the 1-2 in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Peterson missing with a slider there. But those 3 walks were to Kim, the #7 hitter in the order, who he walked twice, and Grisham, the #8 hitter. Here's the 2-2. Swing on a liner to left, a base hit for Jurickson Profar. So Profar gets to first and holds on with a leadoff single. And it'll bring up Juan Soto. As Wayne mentioned, the damage done at the bottom part of the order featured Kim taking advantage twice of those bases on balls, one stealing a base, scoring both times. And Grisham, in his other plate appearance after the walk, singled in the run that made it 3-0. Now Profar the batter, and so Peterson will face Juan Soto, lefty on lefty here. And Seth Lugo was throwing as Bassett was working to the bottom of the order in the fourth inning. We mentioned the Mets prefer to give Peterson, when he comes out of the bullpen, a clean inning, which is what he has here. So Lugo was getting ready for Soto, who shows bunt and does bunt back towards the mound. Peterson up with it, throws to first, a low throw, but it's dug out by Alonso, and down to second goes Profar. I guess they'll give Soto credit for a sacrifice. It was a good bunt, and the sacrifice goes 1-3. You know, you don't often think that a guy with Soto's power would be up there necessarily to bunt, but what he does there is get another man into scoring position. So a runner at second with one out, and Manny Machado will be the batter. So I don't know if Soto did that on his own or from the bench by instruction from manager Bob Melvin. And if Soto did it on his own, it's a selfless play. And now Machado, the Mets have held pretty well in check. 1 for 10 in this series, but that one hit was a home run. 3-0 San Diego. First pitch, taken low, 1-0 with Josh Bell waiting on deck. The injury update brought to you by the Rothenberg Law Firm. If you're injured in an accident, the game plan is simple. Just go to injurylawyer.com. We'll keep an eye on Lindor, who's out at shortstop now. Pitch, and a liner to right center. That's a base hit. Profar hits third. He'll score easily. Marte flings it into second. Holding it first with an RBI single is Manny Machado. The Padres have a 4-0 lead. And you can give Juan Soto an assist in helping to build that run, because he's not a guy you consider one who would necessarily sacrifice in that situation. But Soto's bunt helps build the fourth San Diego run. And the Padres lead 4-0 here in the fifth inning. And that'll bring up the number 4 hitter, Josh Bell. Bell, with some success in the past against Peterson. He's got 3 hits against him. First pitch, swinging a high pop foul, first base side going out of play, and the count 0-1. Josh Bell 3 for 5 against Peterson. All singles, but he's driven in 3 runs against David. So 4-0 San Diego here, as Machado's second hit of the series drives in run number 4, his second RBI in these 3 games. Bell batting right-handed, the 0-1. Swing on a pop fly to shallow right. It's going to hang up for Marte, and he makes the one-hand catch, 2 men away. Jake Cronenworth, the left-hand batter, coming up. Drew Smith, a right-hander in the Mets bullpen. And I would imagine, well, we'll see, of course, with 2 out here, but a couple of right-hand hitters, Myers and Kim, are behind Cronenworth in the batting order, and so if this inning extends beyond Cronenworth, then I would imagine we'll see Drew Smith come into the game. Cronenworth 0 for 10 in the series with 5 strikeouts. 0 for 2 tonight. And Peterson throws to first. Machado is back standing. Machado had 9 stolen bases during the regular season. He was only caught once. But only the Rockies have stolen fewer bases in the National League this year than have the Padres. Another throw to first, a quick one. Alonso with a quick tag, but not in time, as Machado dove back in. Well, the Baker Tilly trivia question coming up. Visit BakerTilly.com to learn how their leading advisory, tax, and insurance professionals can help you bring home a win. Baker Tilly now for tomorrow. Now Peterson sets. The pitch to Cronenworth. Swing and a roller to third, right at Escobar. He'll go to first in time to get Cronenworth. Side retired, but the Padres add a run on 2 hits. No errors, 1 left. Middle of the fifth. It's the Padres 4, the Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealer.
Let's go, Mets!
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's a dangerous time not to know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer? NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/pitch right now. netsuite.com/pitch. netsuite.com/pitch.
To the last of the 5th inning in this third and deciding game of the National League Wild Card Series. The San Diego Padres have a 4-0 lead over the Mets, who will have the middle of their batting order. Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil, and Mark Canha due up here against Joe Musgrove, who's retired all 12 batters that he's faced. Alonso fly to left, his first time up. And the first pitch is fouled back to the screen, 0-1. A big cut at a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. So Musgrove getting the side in order in all 4 innings, allowing or needing only 46 pitches to get through those 4. That is an especially low pitch count. Remember, their closer, Josh Hader, has not appeared in this series. 0-1 the count. Now the pitch. Swinging a liner to right. That's a base hit, and the Mets have their first base runner. Pete Alonso shoots one the other way and gets the Mets started here in the bottom of the 5th inning. A leadoff single. That'll bring the crowd back into it. Jeff McNeil will be the batter. The first Mets hit of the game is sponsored by Health First, proud wellness partner of the New York Mets. That's a long way to go before the Padres can consider their closer, Josh Hader. The Mets now take the first step towards trying to get back into this thing as they break through with their first hit. And now McNeil, who hit in some bad luck his first time up when he hit a ground ball along the first base line that hit the bag, popped high into the air, was barehanded by the first baseman Myers, who threw to Musgrove covering for the out. First pitch, swinging a grounder towards first, a foul ball. Again, that one hugged the line, as Myers looked a little awkward crossing over with that first step trying to get to that ball, but it didn't matter. It was fouled by about a foot. And the count 0-1. Mark Canha, the on-deck hitter. We mentioned we have a Baker Tilly trivia question for you. Dealt with postseason base hit leaders the other night. Tonight it's about postseason career strikeouts, having to do with pitchers. Tom Seaver, the Mets leader in that category, as you would expect. 0-1 the count. Musgrove deals, and it's taken inside. Did it hit the bat? I guess it might have hit the bat of McNeil. It did, the way Jeff reacts, dropping his shoulders, and the count 0-2 strikes. McNeil had that bat just make ever so slight contact. He tried to hold a swing, but watching the replay, it did go up off the barrel, really more towards the handle of the bat. And so Musgrove ahead, 0-2 strikes. Myers holding against Alonso at first. The shortstop, Kim, shaded over towards the second base bag. 0-2 to McNeil. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt. 1-2 strikes. Remember now, the Padres don't throw many attempted base stealers out, but down 4 runs here. That takes a little bit of the aggressiveness away in a base stealing mindset from what the Mets might have had this been a different game. At least a closer game to this point. And that's very much within striking distance, down 4-0. Finally got their first base runner on Alonso's leadoff single. Now it's 1-2 to McNeil. Musgrove ready. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled into the mid of Nola, strike 3. And Musgrove has his third strikeout. So 1 away. And it'll bring up Mark Canha. Well, anyway, Tom Seaver, the Mets' all-time leader in postseason strikeouts with 46. Jacob deGrom now has 37. Who was the Padres' all-time leader in career postseason strikeouts? We'll have that answer for you a little bit later on. Mark Canha will be the batter now. Canha grounded to short his first time. Grisham, the center fielder, a few steps the other way. And Musgrove to the belt. His first pitch is taken for a called strike on the inside corner, 0-1. Canha 0 for 8 now in this series, with Daniel Vogelbach waiting on deck. Vogelbach with a whole lot of power. If Canha can get on here, Vogelbach can swing him back into the game just like that. Alonso is short lead at first. Myers holding. 0-1 to Canha. Now the pitch. Breaking ball swung on and missed. One after the curve, and it's 0-2. Good sharp bite on that curveball from Musgrove. Gave you Musgrove's full season numbers at the beginning of this game. 10-7, 2.93. It's a nice year. He made the All-Star team, made 30 starts. You wouldn't think that that would be as significant an achievement, those all-around numbers, as they are in San Diego Padres history. 0-2 the count. Now the pitch to Canha, swing on a foul straight back to the screen. So it remains 0-2. You have to go back 8 years to Tyson Ross, the last time that a Padre pitcher made 30 starts, won 10 or more games, and had an earned run average under 3. I mean, that's not a spectacular achievement. It's been a long time since a Padre did that. Right here, he's ahead 4-0, has allowed 1 hit. There's 1 out, last of the 5th. Alonso, the runner at first, being held on by Myers. Outfield around towards right against Canha. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Swinging a drive in the air to right center, pretty deep. Back goes Grisham onto the track, makes a running catch and slams into the fence. Fires in towards first, too late to double off Alonso, who gets back. But Trent Grisham just made an outstanding play, taking an extra base hit away from Canha and probably a run away from the Mets. And so Grisham, who will unfortunately be remembered in many precincts for a postseason error, just made a tremendous play to save a run in all likelihood. Now there are 2 men out and Daniel Vogelbach coming up. That error is a member of the Milwaukee Brewers a few years ago against the Washington Nationals.
He's really a great outfielder, a good center fielder especially. And Canha does not drive the ball to the opposite way very often. Sent one pretty deep to the gap in right center. And somehow Grisham got to it.
Well, now Vogelbach, left-hand hitter. First pitch on the way, a curve swung on and missed, 0-1. So is there something to build on here? The base hit by Alonso, and after the strikeout by McNeil, great shot the other way by Canha, run down by Grisham. And as Wayne mentioned earlier, you get to a point in the middle of the game, Musgrove generally loses something, and often a lot. The 0-1, fouled straight down at home plate, a curve, 0-2. This is not a game where either manager is going to waste much time. Let's have the bullpen up once again right now. We mentioned Drew Smith had been throwing while David Peterson was working in the top of the 5th inning. It may be that Smith comes on to work in the 6th inning. 4-0 San Diego. Cronenworth, the second baseman, out in short right field in the overshift. 0-2 to Vogelbach. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a changeup. Side retired. 4 strikeouts for Musgrove. No runs, a hit, 1 left. The end of 5. The Padres 4, the Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's roll, Mets!
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's a dangerous time not to know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer? NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/pitch right now. netsuite.com/pitch. netsuite.com/pitch.
This is Seth Lugo, and you're tuned into the flagship station for New York Mets baseball, WCBS News Radio 880.
Now we go to the 6th inning, and the deciding game 3 of the wild card series between the Mets and the San Diego Padres. The Padres lead 4-0, and Drew Smith will come on to work the 6th inning in relief of David Peterson, who pitched the 5th, allowed 2 hits and a run, did not walk a batter, struck out 2. And Smith, who last pitched in game 1 of the doubleheader on Tuesday against Washington, faces Will Myers, who's 0 for 2 to lead off. First pitch to the right-hand batter, driven in the air to right, pretty deep. Back goes Marte onto the track, and he makes the one-hand catch, 1 out. So Will Myers gave it a good ride the other way. 1 out, and Ha-Sung Kim coming up. There was a ball hit to right center by Mark Canha, which was caught by Trent Grisham. Our sweet play of the game, sponsored by Welch's. They put the fruit in fruit snacks. Well, with 1 out here is Kim, and this is where Chris Bassett really got into trouble. Bassett worked to 6 hitters combined over the bottom third of the batting order, and 5 of them reached. Kim twice via walks. He scored both times. Now he shows bunt, pulls back and takes a strike, a slider. It's 0-1 to Kim, who walked in the 2nd, came around to score, and then walked in the 4th, stole 2nd, and came around to score. Infield setback, the outfield straightaway. The 0-1 pitch, fastball upstairs. 1 ball and 1 strike. In-game summary presented by Mount Sinai Health System. We find a way. Led by the bottom third of that order, the Padres scored 2 in the 2nd off of Chris Bassett. The 1-1 taken on the outside corner of fastball, 1-2. Austin Nola, a 2-run single with 2 out. RBI single in the 4th by Grisham. RBI single in the 5th by Machado. 3 runs against Bassett, 1 against Peterson. 1-2 to Kim. The pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a fastball away. First strikeout for Smith. 2 out. Trent Grisham coming up. And back to our Baker Tilly trivia question. Who is the San Diego Padres all-time leader in career postseason strikeouts? Kevin Brown's name came to mind right away, and he is the answer. He struck out 46, all of them in the Padres' 1998 run to the World Series. Visit BakerTilly.com to learn how their leading advisory, tax, and assurance professionals can help you bring home a win. Baker Tilly now for tomorrow. Well, here's Grisham, who walked, and singled in a run. Left-hand batter. First pitch. Down the middle, a called strike. 0-1. Yeah, this is the same Trent Grisham who hit 184 during the regular season. 3 for his last 33 over the final 17 games. He might be the star of this series. The 0-1 inside, just missed clipping him in the leg as he skips away. And the count 1-1 strike to Grisham with Austin Nola waiting on deck. So Drew Smith, the third pitcher the Mets have used. They'll have 8, 9, and 1 due up when we go to the bottom of this 6th inning. Padres about hit the Mets 5-1 and lead 4-0. 1-1 to Grisham. The pitch swung on and missed. Tried to hold his swing and couldn't at a fastball at 96. And Smith ahead 1-2. So for the first time in a while, really, the fans getting engaged and in many areas back on their feet. We saw that so often the first inning or two. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Little bit high with a fastball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And just as Friday night, when some early San Diego runs took the fans out of the game for a while, same situation tonight to this point. 4-0 Padres, 2 out, top 6. Nobody on, 2-2 to Grisham. The pitch inside. He hit him this time, didn't he? Yep. Hit him with a fastball at 97 miles an hour. Grisham walks that off behind home plate and takes a pat on the back from the ball boy or bat boy. And slowly Grisham starts heading down to first base, but you can steal a base here too, even though Austin Nola, the number 9 hitter, is coming up. Remember, Nola had a 2-run single in the 2nd inning. It's not often your number 8 hitter will try to steal a base, but these are the days of the designated hitter in the National League. So you've got much better 9th place hitters now. And we'll see if Grisham does have a mind to run. Nola 1 for 2. Right-hand batter, a throw to first, and Grisham dives back in.
Now, Smith, one of the better Mets pitchers in general and relievers that holds base runners. Sometimes they bring Drew Smith into games because he's so good at that. When men are on base, that could hurt them.
They did that in a game against Miami with John Birdie at second base in a key spot in an extra inning game. The pitch taken for a called strike, a fastball, 0-1. That was a game where they were in extra innings with the free runner. Birdie was that man on second. Smith specifically started that 10th inning and got all 3 hitters all the while, leaving Birdie, the Major League's base stealing leader, at second base. 0-1 to Nola. Now the pitch. Swing and a liner to left. That's a base hit. Backhanded by Canna. Big turnaround second by Grisham. He'll hold there. And again, the bottom third of this order doing damage here. But Drew Smith still has a chance to keep it from hurting the Mets on the scoreboard. He'll go back to the top of the order now, and Jurickson Profar, who is 1 for 3.
Austin Nola's had 4 hits now in this series, at least 1 in each game. And the bottom of the order is kind of a sub-story on Friday, aside from Scherzer just having a rough night. That the bottom of the Padre order had a big game then. They've had an even bigger one here this evening.
So now Profar, who's lined to right, popped to short, singled to left, and scored. 6 hits for the Padres, 1 for the Mets. Padres leading 4-0. First pitch. On the inside corner, a fastball, 0-1. Profar had skipped back and doesn't quite agree with that call as he says something to Chris Conroy, the home plate ump. Mets are back in the overshift now with McNeil out about 10-12 feet into short right field. Nimmo a step or 2 to the pull side and center. Escobar fairly deep at third, but they're overshifted on the infield. The 0-1 check swing at a breaking ball. Did he go? No. On appeal to third, says umpire Ben May. And it's 1-1 to Profar.
Seth Lugo's back up in the Mets bullpen. He'll come in if this inning gets to Soto.
Juan Soto is on deck. 1-1 to Profar. Here's the pitch. Swinging a bouncing ball to the right side into the shift. McNeil up with it. Throws to first. In time. Side retired. No runs. 1 hit. No errors. 2 left. Middle of the 6th. The Padres 4. The Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network. Driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Share Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
2000, 2008, 2022. When it comes to the economy, those are some scary years. .com crash, housing crash, and the roller coaster we're going through right now. One thing is certain. It's a dangerous time not to know your numbers. But over 31,000 businesses have the confidence and clarity they need because they rely on NetSuite by Oracle, the #1 cloud financial system. NetSuite gives you visibility and control of your financials, inventory, HR, planning, and budgeting, so you can manage risk, get reliable forecasts, and improve margins. Everything you need, all in one place. So, how do you prepare for uncertain times? The answer? NetSuite. NetSuite helps you identify rising costs, automate your business processes, and easily see where to save money. That's why 93% of customers say they improved their visibility and control when they upgraded to NetSuite. What are you waiting for? Right now, NetSuite is offering a one-of-a-kind flexible financing program. Head to netsuite.com/pitch right now. netsuite.com/pitch. netsuite.com/pitch.
We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Padres 4, Mets nothing. The in-game temperature is sponsored by Home Serve, New York's leading heating and cooling experts. Visit homeserveny.com. It was 60 degrees at game time, 58 right now. And right now is a very interesting point in this game as far as the Padres are concerned, as they lead the Mets 4-0. But we've told you about Joe Musgrove and how well he finished the season, allowing just 1 earned run over his last 22 innings. That was over 4 starts. And right now, Buck Showalter is coming out and wants to say something to the first base umpire, Alfonso Marquez, who is the crew chief. And I'm not sure if Buck spotted anything on Joe Musgrove in terms of his equipment or anything else. But what Buck's doing right here is trying to get into the head of Musgrove. And this is pretty obvious. All of the umpires, 6 of them, are coming together, and they're going to huddle up about something. And this is vintage Buck Showalter. The Padres with a 4-0 lead. Musgrove having allowed just 1 hit and 1 base runner, getting ready to deliver his first pitch in the 6th inning. And out of nowhere, here comes Buck. And however calculated this was, it's achieving, at least at a bare minimum, what he wanted, which was to slow Musgrove down, delay his first pitch, and the umpires are talking about whatever it is that Buck brought up.
Well, social media has been abuzz tonight with something that might be a substance that Joe Musgrove keeps going to along his right ear. And the umpires are going to, I would imagine, give Musgrove a little bit of a once-over here to see if they can find anything. Bob Melvin wants to come out now to get his words in with the umpiring crew and what their plan is about how they're going to check Musgrove. Right now, they're just checking his glove.
Well, of course, they check the hand when the pitcher comes off the mound, making sure there's no substance on there, no ticky-tack stuff to enhance the grip illegally. And you would think something like this would have come into play earlier in the game, and quite frankly, it might have, because before the bottom of the 2nd inning, Buck Showalter came out to talk to the home plate ump, Chris Conroy. At that point, I thought, and again, who knows until we talk to Buck afterwards, I thought at that time Buck might have been talking about trying to slow Conroy down and stop him from allowing so many step-outs and timeouts. Well, this is something different because the umpires just felt both ears and above the ears of Joe Musgrove to see if there was any chicanery going on there.
Well, it should be noted that only Alfonso Marquez did. Not all 6 umpires took a turn.
It was a big huddle. I was trying to make a point, and I figure I'd go generic, but you never know. One of them might have copped it up. Well, never mind. That's all broken up with for the time being.
Well, I think
at least by half of them.
I think Alfonso Marquez just told the other umpires that Joe Musgrove's ears are real and spectacular.
Well, again, unless this is something that was discussed earlier in the game, and I don't know, maybe that's what Buck was talking about after the bottom of the second, or maybe it was something that the umpires might have even been alerted to before the game. You would think if it had been an issue before, they would have done this a long time ago. So I got to think this is something Buck was holding in reserve. I got to go back to my original statement and assume that when he came out after the top of the second, it was about, hey, look, how many times are you going to allow these hitters to step out? This, I think that's something he was holding in reserve. And now we'll see if it has an effect, because Musgrove had been all ready to start the bottom of the sixth inning, and then came a little delay. You know, the Padres are going to be agitated. Let's see how Musgrove handles it. Facing Eduardo Escobar. First pitch taken low, ball one. And every pitch will no doubt encourage the fans, although they're quiet right now, to maybe put a little more pressure on Musgrove and try to get into his head apart from whatever the umpires and Buck Showalter just did. The 1-0 breaking ball swung out and missed a curve. Escobar helped Musgrove out there. The count 1-1. Escobar, Nido, and Nimmo. They're in the bottom of the sixth inning. 4-0 Padres. Musgrove from the first base side of the rubber. Delivers 1-1. Breaking ball. That's over for a called strike. A slider. And it's 1-2. Cheater, I think, is what the chant is. If it's something else, somebody please tell me. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a ground ball to the right side. Myers, the first baseman, up with it. Underhands to Musgrove at the bag in time. One man out.
I think they were chanting ears.
Ears?
I think.
Cheater is better. It was Cheater? Okay. Last person I heard reference for his ears was the late Ross Perot. That was 30 years ago. Tomas Nido, the batter. Did you know that just one tick bite can make you really sick? Ticks suck, but being outdoors shouldn't. Go to ticksuck.org for more information on tick removal and how to avoid getting bit. So, one out, nobody on. Tomas Nido, the batter now. The crowd once again trying to get into Musgrove's head. First pitch, breaking ball, a called strike, 0-1. To this point, it's not working. Nido struck out in the third inning. Brandon Nimmo on deck. The Power Report, sponsored by the Tri-Acura dealers. No power in this game. No home runs yet. The 0-1, breaking ball outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. What we've seen throughout most of these playoffs over the first round is that the team that hits the most home runs wins, which is pretty well de rigueur. No infield shift. The outfield around towards right against Nido, who has good power the other way. A 1-1 pitch. Breaking ball, tapped foul. Over by the on-deck circle on the third base side, and Musgrove ahead. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Seth Lugo continues to throw in the Mets bullpen. Juan Soto will lead off the top of the 7th. Lugo, a right-hander, very effective, holding lefties to a 165 average. With Joely Rodriguez injured and David Peterson out of the game, Lugo is the choice to get the lefty. 1-2 to Nido. Now the pitch. Breaking ball outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nimmo on deck. Only 67 pitches thrown to this point by Joe Musgrove. 2-2 the count to Nido. Now the pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a curveball. 2 men away. 5th strikeout for Musgrove. And now back to the top of the order in Tomas Nido. So now, and this is what we started to talk about just before Buck Showalter came out of the dugout. Very delicate point in this game for Bob Melvin, the manager of the Padres. Buck Showalter talks about the game having a heartbeat. And as Wayne mentioned earlier, you get into the latter part of the middle innings, and certainly the third time through the batting order, Musgrove has lost a lot of effectiveness. But this one might have a different heartbeat. First pitch to Nimmo, a breaking ball down and in, ball one. I mean, after all, he's faced 18 batters and only one has reached a base hit. So far he has confounded his own statistical history. And Bob Melvin not pulling anything close to a Kevin Cash here. Doesn't even have his bullpen up. And why should he, the way Musgrove's been going? The 1-0, a fastball hit deep to right field. Back goes Soto, spun around on the track, makes the two-hand catch, and that retires the side. Nothing across at the end of 6. The Padres 4, the Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Hey, Mets fans. This is James McCann. The best teams in New York play on WCBS News Radio 880.
We go to the 7th inning and the third and deciding wild card game, where the Padres leading the Mets 4-0. Padres manager Bob Melvin was just out talking to home plate ump Chris Conroy. I'm sure Bob wasn't thrilled with what he might consider to have been gamesmanship on the part of his old manager, Buck Showalter, trying to get into Joe Musgrove's head, never mind just his ears. But as we go to the 7th inning, Seth Lugo will take over on the mound. Now he's pitching for the third straight night. We've not seen that from Lugo, but he only threw 4 pitches last night, 17 all told over those last 2 nights, and he faces Juan Soto to start the 7th, Wayne.
And Lugo's first pitch out of the windup on the way, a fastball high, ball 1. First time we've seen Seth work 3 straight games before in 3 straight days. Well, last night the workload was light, although he was up in the bullpen a couple different times last night. Hands overhead, windup, 1-0 pitch to Soto. Curve drops for a strike, and it's 1-1. Lugo worked a full inning in the game on Friday, and part of that was because the Mets suddenly didn't have Joely Rodriguez. Rodriguez was officially pulled off the roster yesterday, but his shoulder problem started up on Friday. 1-1 pitch to Lugo. Curve is on the outside half of the plate, another strike to Soto, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. So without Rodriguez on Friday, when the Mets were down big, Seth Lugo worked an inning then. And then last night had to get the final out of the game when Adam Ottavino couldn't finish the ball game last night. 1-2 pitch coming to Soto. Curve is in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lugo joined only 2 other pitchers in baseball history to enter a game with 2 outs and the bases loaded, face only 1 batter, and record a save. Only happened twice in the playoffs before last night in the history of the MLB postseason. 2 balls, 2 strikes the pitch. Soto chops it foul wide of first, grabbed by first base coach David Macias, who chucks it into the crowd, and it's still 2-2 on Soto. Orel Hershiser did it against the Mets in the 1988 National League Championship Series. And former Mets general manager Johnny Murphy did it when he pitched for the Yankees in the 1937 World Series. And Seth Lugo joined that short list last night. 2-2. Breaking ball down and in. Full count on Soto. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mets baseball brought to you by your local Honda dealers. Contact a dealer for a great deal today or visit tryhondadealers.com. 4-0 Padres, 7th inning. 3rd game in this wild card series, the deciding game. It's been all Padres so far. 3-2. Curve is grounded off the leg of Lugo toward the first base line. Lugo goes to get it, tried to shovel it to first, but he couldn't get it there in time as Soto reaches. Ball was hit sharply up the middle, 96 miles an hour back to the mound. as it hit Lugo in the leg and bounced toward the first baseline. Lugo ran after it, went into a slide to try to just shovel it to Alonso with his glove hand. He was not able to get anything on that throw, and might not have mattered anyway as Soto was able to beat it. So he gets a base hit. And now the Mets want to take a look at Seth Lugo as Jeremy Hefner and Joe Golia run to the mound. There was a one-hopper back to the mound, kind of hit Lugo on the right leg, it looked like. As then it bounced, and Juan Soto ends up reaching first with his leadoff infield single here in the 7th. Tomas Nido is going to go back behind the plate as Lugo is going to throw a warm-up pitch or two to make sure that he's feeling okay. The scoreboard update is brought to you by Food Bazaar, feeding your way of life. Visit foodbazaar.com for store locations. The Dodgers await the winner of this game. They will open up their side of the division series on Tuesday night with the late game out of the 4 games that will be played on Tuesday. The Dodgers will play the latest of those games. It'll be an 8:30 Eastern time start if it's the Dodgers against the Mets. It'll be even later than that, 9:30 if the Dodgers play the Padres. Meanwhile, the Yankees will host Cleveland without Aroldis Chapman around, as Chapman skipped a workout over the weekend, has been left off the Yankees ALDS roster. Garrett Cole will start the opener against the Guardians on Tuesday night at Yankee Stadium. The day games Tuesday will be Philadelphia at Atlanta and Seattle at Houston, as Lugo throws to first and Soto's back standing up.
You know, Wayne, I just got a text from a friend who was watching the ESPN telecast, and I don't know if this was David Cohn who delivered the information necessarily or if it was just from someone else from somewhere else, but it's a little more insight into the specifics of what Buck Showalter was talking about.
Pitch to Machado. Fastball is in there for a strike at the knees, and it's 0-1.
What I'm told is that they were saying that the spin rate on Musgrove's curve was 2950. The average is 2400. You know, they've got all the information in the Mets dugout on what Musgrove usually has in terms of his spin rate.
A 1 pitch. That's a slider low to Machado. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So they saw numbers they thought were unusually high. That's the reason they decided to inquire.
Buck Showalter actually told us earlier in the year that there is a system that Major League Baseball uses to investigate pitchers when they have a big jump like that. The 1-1 hit hard past third, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That if a spin rate or spin rates go up demonstrably from one start to another, then Major League Baseball will actually send some investigators out to talk to the teams that were involved in said game to see if there was anything going on, to see if there was any illegal reason why a pitcher's spin rate might jump. Now, we can't do that in game, obviously, but Buck Showalter did what he could do and had the umpires check Joe Musgrove for any sort of substance. 1-2 pitch. Machado, it's a chopper down the third base line. It's a fair ball off the tarp down the left field line. Coming over to get it is Canna. Soto takes third and Machado goes to second base. He has a double, and the Padres are in business here. Second and third, nobody out. They lead 4-0 already, and the Mets have Michael Givens up in their bullpen.
Yeah, right now this is not so much about the 17 pitches that Seth Lugo threw over the last 2 days. It's what they call the up-downs, the amount of times they're asked to get up in the bullpen, sit down, have to get up again. And remember, Lugo actually was up a couple of innings before he got into the game in the first place on Friday night. And so he has been up and down quite a few times this weekend, and even with a minimal pitch count coming in, you wonder if that is a factor here.
The Mets will bring their infield in, second and third, nobody out. The batter is Bell. First pitch. Fastball high, ball 1. I'm surprised to see Givens up in the Mets bullpen too. You know, if you think this would be an opportunity to go to Trevor May, who we haven't seen in this series, or even Diaz. 1-0 pitch. Bell swings and misses on a breaking ball. 1 ball, 1 strike, because runs here really set you back in a big way. The Mets are already behind and can't afford really to see any more runs go up on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike on Bell. Infield in for the Mets. 4-0 Padres in the 7th inning. Mets have only had 1 base runner tonight. Pitch. Bell takes outside. A changeup misses. It's 2 balls and a strike. Bell made the last out last night against Lugo when he grounded out to first with the bases loaded in the top of the 9th inning. That's 1-7-3. in yesterday's game, but they trailed by 4 tonight. 2-1 pitch to Bell. Curve is fouled off his foot, and it's still 2 balls and now 2 strikes on Josh Bell.
Well, this is a desperate point in this game, obviously, for the Mets, but the other side of that is that if Lugo or any following pitcher can combine to get out of this inning unscathed, you would think that would give, at the very least, a huge momentum lift to the Mets.
It's 2-2 on Bell. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. There's one big out. Bell tipping that fastball into the glove of Nito. As Lugo rebounds after the base hit by Machado, or rather the base hit by Soto, an infield hit, and then the double by Machado to strike out Josh Bell. So 1 away. Runners still on second and third. Infield still in. And the batter will be Jake Cronenworth, who's 0 for 3 tonight and hitless in this series. Padres scored 2 in the second on a 2-out, 2-strike base hit by their number 9 batter, the catcher Austin Nola. Trent Grisham had an RBI single in the 4th and Machado in the 5th. First pitch to Cronenworth, a little bit low, ball 1. Michael Givens still up in the Mets bullpen. There is the right-handed batters Myers and Kim on deck. So this could be the last batter for Lugo. One way or another, we'll see if Buck Showalter keeps him out there, if he gets Cronenworth. 1-0. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. Curveball. Lugo's been using that a lot. It's his best pitch. And it's 1 ball, 1 strike on Cronenworth. Second and third, 1 out. Padres trying to extend their lead even more. It's 4-0. Lugo's 1-1. Fastball strike right in there. And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Cronenworth. A crowd which hasn't had a ton to cheer for tonight gets up to their feet. Orange towels start to wave again. Crowd trying to get reignited. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Lugo pumps a 97-mile-an-hour fastball by Cronenworth. And now Buck Showalter will come to the mound to get Michael Givens into this game to face Will Myers, as Lugo puts up back-to-back Ks following a second and third nobody out situation, but he will not be asked to finish this inning. It will be Givens against Myers, with the Padres leading the Mets 4-0. It's the first big move of the game, sponsored by Spear, named the nation's top physical therapy practice twice.
At Ridgewood Savings Bank, go far and go green with Ridgewood's free green checking account. Enjoy an eco-conscious, digital-first payment account that gives you total control with 0 monthly fees. For every green checking account opened in 2022, Ridgewood will make a donation to plant a tree. Save your green and go green with Ridgewood. Visit ridgewoodbank.com. That's ridgewoodbank.com, member FDIC. Just like the team from Queens, Lightbox Jewelry knows a thing or two about diamonds. Except these diamonds are lab-grown. Shopping for lab-grown diamonds is easy with Lightbox. They guarantee all their sparkling stones are VS clarity, a very good cut, near colorless, and all transparently priced at $800 a carat. Did you know that you can also buy loose, lab-grown diamonds from Lightbox? Perfect for creating a custom piece of jewelry, like earrings, a ring, or a necklace in time for the holiday season. Shop online and find your perfect stone at lightboxjewelry.com.
Are your tires ready for another harsh New England winter? Get to Town Fair Tire for your new set of revolutionary Toyo Celsius tires. Town Fair Tire has New England's largest inventory of Toyo tires, all at the guaranteed lowest price you'll find anywhere. And nobody gives you more free services for life than Town Fair. For the guaranteed lowest price on your new set of revolutionary Toyo Celsius tires, nobody beats Town Fair Tire. Nobody.
Name brands at discount prices. Town Fair Tire.
4-0 Padres. San Diego did have runners on second and third. Nobody out to start this inning. Seth Lugo recorded back-to-back strikeouts, but he's been pulled with Michael Givens entering in a hot spot. You can keep cool with the Daikin air conditioning system. Visit perfectingtheair.com today. This is really a huge swing moment in this game. If the Mets are going to have any chance to come back, they need an out here from Givens without any more run scoring. Soto led off this inning with an infield hit. Machado bounced a double down the third base line. But Lugo struck out Bell. He struck out Cronenworth. And here he has been removed from this game in favor of Givens. He's really just been so-so at best as a Met. Givens did appear in the Mets regular season finale as an opener and worked a scoreless inning that game. He has had 5 straight scoreless outings. And this is an opportunity here for Givens to strand some base runners as the infield backs up, and Will Myers is the batter. He's 0 for 3 tonight. 2 outs, runners on second and third, 4-0 Padres. Givens belt tie set, the pitch. Slider is bounced softly first base side of the mound. Givens, a good defender, ran after it, but it's a foul ball down the first base line. That's no balls and a strike on Myers. The longest tenured San Diego Padre. They asked him about his emotions and what could have been his last game at Petco Park at the end of the regular season. And he said, I'm not thinking about that now because we're going to have more games at Petco Park this year. The Padres are 9 outs away from making sure they do. The Mets need a stop here to give themselves every opportunity to come back in this game. Still time. It's 4-0 San Diego. And the Mets have not done really anything against Joe Musgrove tonight. No balls, 1 strike on Myers. Pitch from Givens. Swing and a miss on a high fastball. It's 0-2. Well, if momentum exists within a game, this could be an opportunity for the Mets to swing it their way. Second and third, nobody out. The Padres could have really stomped the Mets out here. The Mets have gotten 2 outs. No runs have scored yet. And Givens is ahead 0-2 on Myers. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Givens with a high fastball punches out Myers. And 3 straight strikeouts from the Mets after the Padres had second and third, nobody out. So can the Mets offense respond? The Padres leave 2 in scoring position. It's the 7th inning stretch here at Citi Field in Game 3 of this wild card series. 4-0 the Padres lead, and the 7th inning stretch is sponsored by Jag One Physical Therapy, your leading in-network physical therapy provider throughout New York, New Jersey, and Pennsylvania. Get back the life you love. Go to jag1pt.com.
Welcome to a late night edition of What If, the show where I, Jake from State Farm, answer your insurance what ifs. We've got Sean on the line. What's up?
Hey, Jake, what if I'm too stressed about my coverage to sleep? Like, what if I don't have enough? Or what if I need to change it?
Oh, if you can't sleep, just give us a ring. We're available 24/7. At State Farm, we're there for your what ifs.
Oh, great. What if I just take a little nap?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
The Padres really had a chance there in the top of the 7th to put this game away, and they did not. They had second and third, nobody out. Between Seth Lugo and Michael Givens, 3 straight strikeouts from there. Givens struck out Will Myers to end the top of the 7th. He made it look easy, and following the speed limit can be easy too. Vision Zero reminds you that speeding ruins lives. Drivers always look for pedestrians and cyclists and slow your turns to 5 miles per hour. It's Marte, Lindor, and Alonso. Third time through against Joe Musgrove, who's been excellent tonight. He's only allowed 1 man to reach Alonso on a base hit in the 5th inning. Musgrove has struck out 5. He's had his ears rubbed by the umpires tonight, but he has pitched a gem, and for this San Diego kid who has thrown the only no-hitter in Padres history. Well, this is one step further into the annals of Padres history for Joe Musgrove if San Diego can finish this off. But maybe the Mets have been left in this game now after the Padres were unable to get those 2 big runs home in the top of the inning.
I don't know about you, but it's always seemed to me that if the first guy batting in a situation like the Padres just had, second and third, nobody out, fails to get the run home, I don't know what the percentage is, but it seems that a significant amount of the time that team doesn't score. Saw it yesterday in the game in Cleveland between the Guardians and the Tampa Bay Rays, which was scoreless late in the game. I believe it was the 6th inning, actually, and the Guardians had the bases loaded, nobody out, and Jose Ramirez struck out the first batter. And then the next hitter hit into a double play, and that was the end of that. And the Padres, a team that don't strike out very much at all, struck out 3 straight times there, and now we'll see if the Mets can take some momentum.
Starling Marte will lead off the bottom of the 7th, followed by Lindor and Alonso. 4-0, San Diego has the lead. The crowd realizes this is a good chance to start the comeback. First pitch. Marte takes outside, ball 1. Musgrove misses with a cutter. The leash will be a lot shorter for Musgrove here near the end as soon as the Mets show any signs of life. Bob Melvin will get the bullpen up, but right now it's quiet. 1 ball, no strikes on Marte. Musgrove deals. Marte takes a bit low. 2 balls and no strikes. Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso will follow. Here in the bottom of the 7th, the Mets would like to just get something on the board here. Make it at least a little tighter for the Padres as it gets toward the finish line. Takes all 27 outs in these types of games for sure. 2-0, the pitch to Marte. There's a strike. Musgrove pours one over the inner half, a cutter. And it's 2 balls, 1 strike on the Mets right fielder. He wished himself a happy birthday today on Instagram. Maybe he could wish himself even more of a birthday blast here if he can park one and get the Mets on the board himself. 2-1. Inside, a curve misses. Marte turned away. And it's ball 3.
I bet you if one man gets on, Bob Melvin gets his bullpen up.
You'd think so. We will likely be in the part of the game where the Padres would go straight to their top relievers. Robert Suarez, their main setup man, and then Josh Hader, their closer. 3-1 the pitch. Marte lines one foul to the right. Fastball that was up around the top of the zone. And Marte swatted it away foul. So it's a full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It was the 7th inning yesterday when the Mets scored 4 runs to put the game away. A 4-run 7th again tonight would certainly serve a big purpose in this winner-take-all. It's 4-0 Padres. Marte leading off the inning. It's a full count, 3-2. Musgrove deals. Marte takes, and he didn't go around. Ball 4. A check swing. Alfonso Marquez, the first base umpire, said Marte held up. It's a leadoff walk. It's the first walk issued by Musgrove tonight. And the Mets have their leadoff man on here in the 7th. As the first walk of the game is brought to you by Total Ortho Express, where you can just walk in, no appointment needed.
And you wonder, too, if on the other side of the momentum swing that the Mets may be feeling after that 2nd and 3rd no-out opportunity missed by the Padres, you know, can it affect the pitcher? In this case, Joe Musgrove, who might be thinking, man, I'm 1 hit away from being golden here, and now all of a sudden there's a letdown that the Mets might be able to take advantage of.
The batter Lindor, Marte at first pitch. Swing and a miss. Musgrove got Lindor out in front of a slider. No balls and a strike, and the Padre bullpen will get started. And it is right-hander Robert Suarez, who has been their top reliever really most of the year. Well, they've only had Hader for 2 months, and one of those months he was terrible. No balls, 1 strike on Lindor. Marte at first, nobody out. 7th inning, Mets down by 4. Pitch. Lindor whiffs on a breaking ball again, out in front again. Both of those pitches out of the zone, and Lindor chased. No balls, 2 strikes. Alonso next. Lindor is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and he has popped out. Mets have done very little, even in terms of making the Padre outfielders field the ball tonight. Only a few fly ball outs that have made it past the infield. No balls, 2 strikes. 4-0 Padres, 7th inning. Musgrove deals. Lindor, it's a ground ball. It's fielded by Myers with a dive down the first base line. Steps on first, throws late to second. Marte is safe there. And what a play again by Will Myers down the first base line as Lindor hit a rope. And Myers stabbing at it right in front of the bag. He popped up quickly out of his dive, stepped on the base at first, and then tried to make a double play out of it. But Marte was able to advance, and Myers again saves a base hit, as the Padres have made a few very good defensive plays tonight.
I'm not sure that Lindor was initially aware that Myers had stepped on first base. He saw him throw the ball to second, and Lindor was just standing on first for the first moment or two after the play was completed at second base. And I think Lindor might have thought that Myers never did step on first base, but he did.
And let's have a man in scoring position now for the first time tonight. It's Marte at second. Here's Alonso. 4-0 Padres. First pitch. Alonso lays off a breaking ball in the dirt. Check swing, and he didn't go. Ball one. First window of opportunity for the Mets tonight, presented by Windorama. The window replacement experts. Let your project be their passion from start to finish. Visit Windorama.com to set up a free consultation. Alonso has the only Mets hit tonight. He singled to right field in the fifth. Marte's been the only other base runner after he drew a walk to start this inning. He's at second with one out. These fans begging for something to get up about from an offensive standpoint tonight. 1 ball, no strikes. And time is called behind second base. Ball got away in front of the Padre dugout. Alonso tied for the major league lead in RBIs during the regular season. He drove in 131. Mets would like to get one on the board here and put a little pressure on the Padres. The righty Suarez is getting loose in the San Diego bullpen. McNeil on deck. 1 ball, no strikes. Musgrove a long hold, the pitch. Breaking ball in the dirt, stopped by Nola. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Grubhub guarantees your food will get you on time within the delivery window and for the lowest price. Go for Grubhub. Mets will need to rally late. McNeil, who's on deck, talked earlier today about scoring early in these games, getting that early lead, how important that is. Well, it didn't happen for the Mets tonight. Padres scored 2 in the second, added a run in the fourth and the fifth. The Mets haven't scored yet. Threatening here, though. 2 balls, no strikes. The pitch. Alonso, it's a line drive toward right. Soto moves over and back, makes the catch. Marte advances back to second base as Alonso hit that ball right on the nose, as did Lindor before him. That one handled by Soto in right center field. 2 outs. And now Jeff McNeil will have a chance. This copyrighted broadcast, presented by authority of the New York Mets, may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Mets. 2 outs, Marte at second. And now the batter, McNeil. Musgrove giving up some balls that have been hit harder now in this inning. The Mets still have not found a base hit outside of the one from Alonso in the fifth inning. A 1-hit shutout through 6 2/3 for Musgrove. Facing McNeil. First pitch. Slider drops for a strike over the outer half, and it's 0-1. McNeil has been the best hitter in terms of batting average in all of baseball this year. Certainly that one guy you'd say you'd like up in a spot like this where a base hit could mean something. The Mets would mean their first run of the night. They are down 4-0 in the seventh. 0-1 the pitch. McNeil fouls one off to the left. Got a late swing. He's not had a good look at Musgrove tonight. Grounded out to first on a ball that hit the first base bag his first time, and he struck out his last time. It had been 60 plate appearances since McNeil's last strikeout before that one in the fifth. Musgrove has fanned 5. Musgrove is tougher on lefties than he is right-handers. Mark Canha, a right-hander, on deck. Marte at second, ready to take off with contact. 2 outs. No balls and 2 strikes on McNeil. Musgrove, a belt tie set, a long look in. Now the pitch. McNeil, it's a little chopper foul, first base side. You can tell how on top of it Musgrove is tonight with the way that McNeil looks. You're getting awkward and ugly swings from McNeil with the way that he's hit for the last 2.5 months. And you have some good stuff working. And Joe Musgrove has shut down the Mets tonight. 1 hit in 6 2/3 scoreless innings. He's thrown only 85 pitches. Bullpen really hasn't even gotten up tonight with the exception of this inning. Suarez seems ready to go in the Padre bullpen if needed. Mets are desperate for a base hit. No balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. McNeil, it's a chopper to first. Myers smothers it, stays with it, flips to Musgrove. McNeil's out, and the inning is over. The Mets again don't score. They don't get any hits. They had a leadoff walk, but Marte left at second, and the Mets are running out of time in 2022. We'll go to the 8th inning, 4-0 San Diego on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go, Mets!
You don't need to get personal, like revealing you love to smell your cat's breath. To get the State Farm Personal Price Plan, just call or go to statefarm.com for a quote. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Top of the 8th here at Citi Field. It is a 4-0 Padres lead over the Mets in this wild card series. Best of 3. This is the 3rd and deciding game, and the Mets have been 1 hit through 7 innings by Joe Musgrove. They'll try to keep it right where it is as Michael Gibbons goes back to the mound for the 8th inning. Ha-Sung Kim, Trent Grisham, Austin Nola. The bottom of the order has really powered the Padres tonight. And with play-by-play in the 8th, here's Howie.
All right, thank you very much, Wayne. So Givens against Kim, who struck out and walked twice, almost gets nicked by the first pitch fastball, which just missed his back as he turns away from it. It's 1 ball and no strikes on Kim. So Michael Givens faced one batter, Will Myers, struck him out, the 3rd of 3 straight strikeouts after the Padres had 2nd and 3rd no out. And the 1-0, fastball inside, 2 balls and no strikes. And after the Mets got out of that, you'd think, okay, well, you've got some of the big boys coming up in the bottom of the 7th. That'd be the time, but they weren't able to get it done. 2-0 to Kim. That's a little bit high. I'm not sure Givens quite agrees with Chris Conroy, but that fastball deemed to have missed upstairs. And it's 3-0. Kim has already walked twice and scored twice. Padres have had 8 hits. The Mets just 1. The 3-0. Taken high, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk to start the 8th inning. Trevor May is up in the Mets bullpen. Trent Grisham coming up. We'll pause for station ID on the WCBS Mets Radio Network.
your trusted source for news, traffic, weather, and every Mets game. This is WCBS and WCBS-FM HD2 New York.
Howie Rose, Wayne Randazzo with you at Citi Field. Padres 4, Mets nothing, beginning the 8th inning. It has started with a walk to Hae-Sung Kim. The 4th walk allowed by Mets pitching tonight, and Kim has drawn 3 of them. And here's the guy who's drawn the other one, Grisham, who has also singled in a run and been hit by a pitch. This guy wasn't hitting anything the last month of the year in particular. Throw to first, and Kim scampers back standing. But he is the top dog of perhaps this series. Certainly the top dog of the game, presented by the Farmer's Dog. Long-lived dogs, after a great catch that he made, too. And he takes a changeup outside for ball 1. He saved a run when he took an extra base hit away from Mark Canha with a great running catch in the 5th inning in right center field. So 4-0 Padres. Alonso holding against Kim, who measures a decent-sized lead at first against Givens, the 1-0. And Grisham with a big cut fouls it back to the screen. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kim stole 12 bases during the regular season and then added 1 in the 4th inning en route to what became the 3rd San Diego run. Mets have the infield at double play depth, but Grisham, the hitter, a left-handed batter and a fast man. The outfield straight away against him. Escobar off the line at 3rd. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a foul straight back out of play off the facing of the second deck and tumbles downstairs. And it is 1-2 to Trent Grisham, first round pick of the Brewers back in 2015. He's always had pretty good pop. Hit 17 home runs during the regular season and 1 in each of the first 2 games of this series. 1-2 the count. Quick throw to first. And Kim dives back in. Austin Nola, the number 9 hitter, the catcher, is waiting on deck. Now Edwin Diaz has gotten up in the Mets bullpen, owing to the desperation of the situation here in the 8th inning. 4-0 Padres, nobody out. Kim at first. 1-2 to Grisham. Here's the pitch. Outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes, a fastball. And the Padres continue to keep Robert Suarez up in their bullpen. Suarez worked a scoreless inning in the opener of this series. It was on Friday night. Josh Hader, their closer, has not yet appeared. The 2-2. Grisham lines it towards first, beyond the reach of Alonso. Base hit right field. Kim takes a big turn around second and hustles back standing. And now the Padres have runners at first and second, nobody out. Austin Nola coming up in what could be a bunt situation. We'll see how the Mets play it. Buck Showalter has Diaz up. And here comes Buck. And you would imagine that they're going to go to Diaz right here and hope that he can punch the lights out of the next 3 hitters and keep this where it is at 4-0.
Well, there's the move.
And so this pitching change is brought to you by the New York Lottery. The newest scratch-off games are on sale now. Try your luck today and you could bring home a win.
Smart New Yorkers have no problem driving to get what they want, from ball games to bagels to beaches. And that includes driving to the Westbury Toyota Superstore, where they sell more Toyotas than anyone else in the tri-state area. For a super selection, a super deal, and super customer satisfaction, take the good drive to the Westbury Toyota Superstore, #1 in the tri-state and all of Long Island, 1121 Old Country Road, Westbury, and at westburytoyota.com.
The opioids I was prescribed made me feel worse.
I was pregnant, addicted, and scared.
I thought painkillers would get me back on the field faster. I was wrong.
Then I heard about 844-REACH-NJ.
I got into treatment and delivered a healthy baby girl.
844-REACH-NJ was the call I needed to make.
I'm glad I made the call.
I made the call.
Hello, REACH-NJ.
If you or someone you love is struggling with addiction, call 844-REACH-NJ from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
When I'm getting ready for a game, I have to be prepared. I've got my lineup cards, team stats, and of course my mug of Bigelow tea. For me, it's that smooth Bigelow green tea that tastes great and keeps my voice in peak condition even if the game goes into extra innings. Whether I drink it hot or brewed over ice, I refuse to settle, and neither should you. So grab a mug of your favorite Bigelow tea and join the millions of Mets fans that make Bigelow #1 in New York. Bigelow tea, the official tea of the Mets Radio Network. Edwin Diaz enters the game in unfamiliar territory for him with the Mets trailing 4-0. But this is the third and final game of the wild card series. The Mets trail 4-0 in the 8th inning. The Padres have Ha-Seong Kim at second, Trent Grisham at first, nobody out. Austin Nola coming up. The pitching change brought to you by the Lake Law Firm. Bringing justice to the masses. Visit COVIDTaxMoney.com today. You know, there was one consideration for waiting a batter before going to Diaz here. And we don't know if Nola's up there to bunt or not. He's had 2 hits in this game, and he would be a double play candidate. And so you wonder if Nola was up there to bunt. Michael Givens is such a gifted defender that you wonder whether there was any consideration given to maybe having Givens face Nola in case of the bunt and then go to Diaz. But, you know, Edwin Diaz is never the wrong choice. And so Buck Showalter's thinking was, I don't even want to gamble about whether he's going to bunt or anything else. I need the strikeouts, and that's Edwin Diaz. And here it goes. Corners pinch. Nola squares. Bunts third base side. Diaz lets it go for Escobar, who throws to first. McNeil covers, and they get Nola. The sacrifice executed 5-4, but Nola executes it perfectly as the runners move up. So Diaz thought for a moment about fielding that himself, but then peeled off and let the third baseman Escobar take it. So going to third is Kim, to second Grisham. And with 2 in scoring position, 1 out, the Mets have to move their infield in. Now it is Profar, who is 1 for 4. And so again, the strikeout of paramount importance now. First pitch to the left-hand batter, a fastball inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Profar has not seen Diaz before. Juan Soto is on deck. He has, and he has a couple of homers against him. The 1-0. Swinging a little dribbler off to the right behind home plate. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike on Profar. Welch's Juicefuls are the latest creation from the makers of America's favorite fruit snacks, made with real fruit and bursting with delicious taste. Welch's Juicefuls. See the juice. Taste the fruit. All 4 infielders are up. Kim at third, Grisham at second. They both run well. The 1-1 to Profar. Grounded foul up the first base line. And it's 1-2. And again, can the Mets seize something here to work in their favor when they come to bat in the bottom of the 8th? We thought they might have when they got out of second and third, no out in the 7th inning. Here it's second and third, 1 out, and they've got Edwin Diaz on the mound, ahead 1-2 to Profar. Here's the pitch. Check swing, slider. Did he go? No. On appeal to third. Ben May, the third base ump, says 2 balls and 2 strikes. Profar tonight, 1 for 4. Diaz pitched an inning and 2/3 last night. He came into the game in the 7th inning. At that point, the Mets had a 1-run lead at 3-2. Here's the 2-2 to Profar. Swinging a chopper foul off his foot at home plate, 2-2. And I know Wayne and I both wondered at the same time, is it possible that Buck Showalter would ask Diaz to get 3 innings worth of outs here, 9 outs? He'd never been asked to do that before. Probably the fact that he threw 19 pitches in the 7th inning, his first, took him out of any consideration for that. But Buck said today it was definitely a possibility. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. He reached for the slider away. It was all about the pitch count, and of course what Diaz really needed to do last night was take care of the big boys in the San Diego batting order. Starting really with the guy up right now, Profar, and then Soto, and he faced Machado, Bell, and Cronenworth in the 8th before Buck went out to get him. 2-2 to Profar. Second and third, 1 out. The pitch. Swing and a foul, straight back out of play. And Profar having an outstanding at-bat here against Edwin Diaz. It has gone 8 pitches. It's not about who's behind Edwin Diaz now. It's all about Diaz trying to get the Mets back to the dugout. No worse than at 4-0 Padres. 2-2 to Profar. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 3 called. He got him with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. And there are 2 men away. So Diaz gets the 1 strikeout he needed. And now Soto, who was 1 for 3. Again, he has homered a couple of times off of Diaz. First base is open here, but Manny Machado is on deck. Manny's got a couple of hits. And they're going to start by pitching to Soto here. And Soto with a significant sacrifice bunt earlier in this game. First pitch, dribbled down the third baseline, a fair ball, a base hit. Kim scores around third. Grisham, he'll come home standing and holding at first with a 2-run ground ball single. Just inside the third base bag is Juan Soto, and the Padres have a 6-0 lead. And now this crowd is completely stunned. With Soto, the left-hand hitter, up, the Mets infield was pulled around to the right, and Escobar had no chance on that ball. He was a third of the way towards second base. Juan Soto, with his second hit of the game, has given the Mets, never mind a hill, a mountain to climb now as they trail 6-0 in the 8th inning. Here's Machado. First pitch taken on the outside corner, strike 1 called.
Well, this team, as you reflect back on the last month or so, had a lot of chances to miss this series entirely. A lot of ones that got away that put them here against the Padres.
The 0-1. Up and in to Machado. That backs him away. Machado immediately says something either to Chris Conroy, the home plate ump, or maybe to catcher Tomas Nido. Manny certainly wasn't happy when Buck Showalter was challenging Joe Musgrove about what Buck thought was substance around the ears, which might have led to an increased spin rate. And it was Machado who spun there away from the Edwin Diaz pitch. Ready to go now. The 1-1. Soto runs. Pitch taken for a strike. Nito's throw on one hop. Out at second base as Lindor applied the tag. And that retires the side. I checked out it was McNeil who made the tag. So 2-4 on the caught stealing. However, damage done in the 8th. Walked the leadoff man. And it came around to bite them. +1. The Padres scored 2 on 2 hits. No errors. Nobody left. Middle of the 8th inning. The Padres 6. The Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network. Driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Earn a lump sum payout after your first year at Vitas. Our Difference Maker program recognizes nurses for their commitment to care for patients at the bedside. Apply today at careers.vitas.com and receive your lump sum payout after year 1.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning, and the Mets have to dig very deep now because they're in a hole that is every bit that deep. And they've got 6 outs left to play with to climb out of it. And they'll start that climb, or at least attempt to, against a new pitcher, right-hander Robert Suarez, who takes over for Joe Musgrove. The Padres starter pitched 7 brilliant innings, allowing just 1 hit, walked 1, struck out 5. Suarez to Mark Canha, and the first pitch taken for a called strike, a fastball. It's 0-1. So Suarez, guy who pitched in Japan for the last 5 years, signed in the offseason with the Padres, missed a couple of months earlier this year because of knee problems, called on to the 8th inning. The 0-1 to Canha. Fastball down the middle at 97. It's 0-2. Canha to be followed by Daniel Vogelbach and Eduardo Escobar. Canha 0 for 9 in this series, but he made a bid his last time up. Trent Grisham went far into the right center field gap to take an extra base hit and a run away from the Mets. The 0-2 swung on and missed, strike 3. He got him with a 100-mile-an-hour fastball. 1 man out, and the Mets season now has 5 outs with which to play. Daniel Vogelbach will be the batter. A look around the league, sponsored by the league, a dating app designed for those who swing for the fences in life. Visit theleague.com to start dating intelligently. It'll be the Phillies and the Braves in one National League Division Series. The winner of this game, the only wild card series to go the distance, will play the Dodgers. Mariners will play the Astros, the Yankees, and the Guardians. Here's Vogelbach. Takes the first pitch at the knees, a fastball, 0-1. You think about all the opportunities the Mets had the last month of the season to put the National League East away and what the ramifications have been, and they are aplenty. 0-1 to Vogelbach, a fastball low, 1 ball and 1 strike. One of them would be if the Mets had won the division instead of hoping they could win this game, never mind at this point, but even back before the series started, and being faced with a cross-country trip to play the Dodgers in the division series. Here's the 1-1. Fastball on the outside corner. And it's 1-2 to Vogelbach. Had the Mets won the division, well, they'd just be waiting to start their division series against the Philadelphia Phillies. Just about the polar opposite of a cross-country trip. 1-2 to Vogelbach. Now the pitch. Swinging a foul back to the screen. You know, you had to figure that the Mets, whether they won the division or not, would have to face the Dodgers sooner or later. The Dodgers, of course, a juggernaut for the entirety of the year, having won 111 games. The Mets
could have had your pitchers rested, could have taken some time to get healthy.
Here's the 1-2 to Vogelbach. Swinging a high pop-up outside third, long run for Machado. Looks like he'll have room, and he makes the two-hand catch in foul territory. 2 men away. 4 outs remain for the Mets to play with.
And I actually tweeted it at the trade deadline, saying what the Padres did at that time made it even more important to win the division, because then you'd have to play them in the first round. And they were the team that did the most at the trade deadline. Juan Soto, a big part of that. Josh Bell, a big part of that. We haven't even seen Hader. But the Padres were certainly a dangerous enough team to make this weekend one that you wanted to avoid.
Well, here's Escobar, switch hitter batting left. Pops the first pitch foul. Third base side out of play, 0-1. Tonight's attendance, 39,241. I believe that's short of a sellout. Brought to you by Centerlight Pace, Medicare and Medicaid program for adults 55 and older. Keep up with the pace of aging. Visit centerlighthealthcare.org. Here's the 0-1. Swung on and missed. A 100-mile-an-hour fastball. 0-2 to Escobar. And so in this matchup here of Venezuelan-born players, Escobar the hitter, Suarez, the pitcher. It's 0-2. Now the pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike three. A 101-mile-an-hour fastball. That retires the side. Mets will be down to their last 3 outs. But first, the Padres will bat in the 9th inning. In the 8th for New York. Nothing across. We go to the 9th. San Diego 6, the Mets nothing. On the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
WCBS 880.
Breaking news this morning.
More than just the headlines.
40,000 jobs.
News.
Commuter chaos.
Traffic and weather together.
Bumper to bumper.
Flash flood warning. And New York Mets baseball.
Put it in the books.
WCBS News Radio 880.
Well, we go to the 9th inning here in the deciding game of the wild card series. The Mets, who at times over their 60 years and 61 seasons of existence have pulled off a miracle or two or three. Well, they're going to need a king-size baseball miracle now. The Padres 6, the Mets nothing. Manny Machado leads off. Trevor May, the new pitcher, delivers a fastball that's fouled back to the screen. 0-1. So May takes over for Edwin Diaz, who worked 1 inning, gave up 1 hit, no runs, no walks, a strikeout. Machado was at the plate when Juan Soto was thrown out trying to steal. That into the top of the 8th inning. 0-1. The pitch to Machado, taken high. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Trevor May, the 7th pitcher the Mets have used in this game. But, you know, think about the pitchers a little bit and why the Mets are where they are and how they've gotten here. The 1-1 breaking ball swung on and missed. 1-2. So much of this season was built around getting into a short series with Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer. Well, they had that in Atlanta. They had that here. deGrom won a game in this series. Scherzer and deGrom both lost in Atlanta. Chris Bassett, in his last start against the Braves in a huge game last week, lasted only 2 2/3 innings, only 4 innings tonight. Here's the 1-2 to Machado. Swung on and missed strike 3. Then he looked a little uncomfortable after strike 2 and was flexing outside the batter's box, and he's walking very slowly back to the third base dugout. So May strikes out his first assignment, and it'll bring up Josh Bell. Mets have not had a lead to protect in tonight's game, but you can always be protected by National Grid. National Grid is here to help. Discover how you can save this season by visiting mgrid.com to learn more. I'll help my partner here, Wayne Randazzo. I'll toot his horn for him. But if you follow Wayne on Twitter and you check his timeline and go back to the trade deadline, August 2nd, look at what he tweeted. Pitch to Bell, swung on and missed. A changeup, 0-1. I'll just paraphrase it and say that Wayne brought up the importance of staying away from the San Diego Padres in the wild card game after the Padres made some big moves which brought the guy to the plate right now, Josh Bell, along with Juan Soto. The 0-1, breaking ball in for a called strike, 0-2. And whereas the Mets' path would have been significantly different, they shot themselves in the foot in September, losing all 3 games here to the Cubs, 2 out of 3 against Washington, splitting with Miami. 0-2 to Bell, chopped foul, back behind home plate. I realize there are still 3 outs to work with, but I'm sure those who are leaving the ballpark now, as well as those who are still here, are running the postmortems through their mind. And when you think back to what could have been, you think of what was supposed to be the easy September schedule, and it turned out to be anything but. 0-2 to Bell. In there, strike 3 called. He got him with a changeup. So May has struck out the first 2. 2 men away, and Jake Cronenworth coming up. And following the game, make sure to stay tuned for all of the whys and wherefores, and how did this happen and why did that not happen. Highlights and clubhouse reaction too on the Mets Local 3 IBEW and Nika postgame show.
Well, and after all those missed opportunities in September, the Mets still had a chance to just go to Atlanta and win once with all their best pitchers lined up.
Pitch to Cronenworth, swung on and missed, 0-1.
They win 1 game there, and they still would have probably locked down the division after that. And with a 3-game sweep in the Braves, erased any chance of the division title, put the Mets in this series. And the Mets just come up short here against really the Padres starting pitchers more than anything else.
Here's the 0-1 to Cronenworth, swung on and popped up. He's going to be 0 for 13 in this series. Second base side, McNeil calling, makes the one-hand catch, side retired. So if the Mets are going to save their 100-win season, they better think of something in a hurry. Nito, Nimmo, and Marte due up. Padres go in order. Middle of the 9th inning. The Padres 6, the Mets nothing on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Great. Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Make a difference as a nurse at Vitas Healthcare and earn a lump sum payout after your first year. With our new Difference Maker program, team members who care for patients at the bedside will be rewarded for their commitment with a lump sum payout after they reach their 1-year anniversary. Eligible positions include RNs, admissions RNs, LPNs, LVNs, and team managers. To earn your lump sum payout after your first year, apply today at careers.vitas.com.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 9th inning, as despite the fact that it is 10:03 in the evening and it has been dark for the better part of the last 3 hours, the Mets are going to try to avoid making the sun set on this season as long as possible, but they've got their work cut out for them. The Padres 6, the Mets nothing. The Padres have out hit the Mets 10-1. And Josh Hader, the closer of the Padres, will come on to work for the first time in this series. Started the year with Milwaukee. He didn't give up a run over his first 19 games. And then suddenly he lost it. And he lost it in profound fashion. In 17 games from the 4th of July through the 28th of August, he allowed 25 earned runs in 13 innings on 27 hits. That's a 17.31 earned run average. But then, from the 31st of August until the 3rd of October, he found it again. He faces Tomas Nido to lead off, and the first pitch is a fastball over, a called strike, 0-1. Between the 31st of August and the 3rd of October, in 12 games, he allowed only 1 earned run in 11 1/3 innings for a 0.79 earned run average. He was kind of doing a 1973 Tug McGraw. 0-1, the pitch to Nito. In tight on him, a fastball, 1-1. If you're old enough to remember, or you know your Mets history, you'll recall that Tug McGraw, one of the premier closers of not only the Mets history, but in his generation, such a terrific reliever, has struggled so terribly in 1973. Here's the 1-1 to Nito. Swing and a miss at a fastball, 1-2. On the 17th of July, Tug's earned run average was 6.17. Yogi Berra even started him a couple of games to try to get him straightened out. Well, suddenly he got straightened out, and over his last 19 games, he pitched to a 0.88 ERA. So I think Hader's been taking Tug McGraw vitamins or something. Here's the 1-2 to Nito. Foul back to the screen, a big cut. Well, the Mets would have needed to take some kind of super vitamin combination to get them through this 9th inning here against Hader. Musgrove went 7 innings, allowed 1 hit. Walked 1, struck out 5. Robert Suarez, a dominant 8th inning, 1-2-3, struck out 2. And now Hader trying to send the Padres home into the division series to Dodger Stadium on Tuesday night. 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3. Got him with a fastball at 100 miles an hour. 1 man away. And Brandon Nimmo will be next. Nimmo, nothing out of 3. It's just such an empty feeling when every team goes to spring training around the middle of February. And their primary objective is to get to where the Mets and the Padres and the other teams that remain in the postseason are right now, to have a chance to be the last team standing. Here's Nimmo. Hader's first pitch. In for a called strike, a sinker, 0-1. And then when you get into this setting and the crowd is as enthusiastic as it's been, and the games and every at-bat and every pitch carries such significance, you live on adrenaline. You think it'll last you straight until November. The 0-1 fouled off to the left and out of play, 0-2. But when it ends, you think back, and spring training feels like it was about 5 years ago. And you realize you've got to go through all of that again. Spring training, opening day with the pomp and circumstance and the excitement. And if you win at home, you're all pumped. And 161 more games before you might get a chance like the Mets have now. And yet it's hanging by a thread. The 0-2 fastball outside, 1-2. It's the emptiest, most hollow feeling in sports.
Well, you don't know when you're going to get another chance to even make it this far, especially with a lot of uncertainty now. We've not talked about free agency much or what the offseason might look like, but the Mets are going to have a lot of holes to fill, as this team might look a lot different by opening day next year.
Brandon Nimmo is one of them. A 1-2 to Nimmo, fouled straight back. I mean, I'm allowed to get personal a little bit. We all are. I'm really hoping that Brandon Nimmo stays. He's such a great kid, and it's been so much fun to watch him come up as an unlikely first-round pick from Wyoming and become a solid major league center fielder. There are a lot of people, even in this organization, who thought his ceiling was as a 4th outfielder. The 1-2, fastball high, 2-2, but he was an integral part of this team that won 101 regular season games. He went 4 for 8 in the first 2 games of this series, but only one Met has a hit tonight, and that's Alonso.
A homegrown player, a guy that's a well-liked teammate, and he's certainly been a productive player. He's the kind of guy you think you'd like to keep.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a roll to short, and a couple of steps, Kim. He's got it, throws to first in time, 2 men away, and the Mets are down to their last out. Starling Marte will be the batter. Well, the Mets were hoping they'd get Marte back sometime in the last week of the regular season from the broken finger. And he was hit by a pitch in Pittsburgh the first week of September. Took him until this series to come back. And they sure missed him down the stretch when you just consider that just one more win would have given them the division. Pitch to Marte. Fastball for a called strike, 0-1. But now they're about to head into an uncertain winter, as Wayne brought up, with a lot of moves and decisions to be made.
One hit in this game too, Howie. That is really a shocker to see this team do nothing tonight.
The 0-1 to Marte. Fouled back to the screen. 0-2, and the Mets are down to their last strike. Last night was very encouraging because Lindor and Alonso in particular, the big boys, they came through. Each of them had home runs. Nemo had 3 hits. But again, Padres scored some early runs. And for the Mets offensively, crickets. 0-2 to Marte. Hader to the belt. Now the pitch. Swung on, a little roller foul up the third base line past Coach Joey Cora. And Marte might have done something to make him uncomfortable. I don't know if he broke his bat. That's all it is. Okay, he was walking rather gingerly at first outside the batter's box, but now prolonging the Mets season by a few extra feet. Walks the bat over to the bat boy in front of the dugout and takes a long walk back to home plate. And is that ever a metaphor for where the Mets are at this very moment? It's a long way to Port St. Lucie after 101 wins that get you nothing in the postseason. Well, that appears to be the Mets' destiny. When for so long this season seemed to carry the word destiny as part of their job description. They won so many memorable games. But it's ending much differently than anticipated. 0-2. Hader sets. The pitch to Marte. Fouled right off the hands. Back to the backstop. And maybe that one stung him. Again, trying to play through that fractured finger. Now he goes for a pretty long walk. Outside the batter's box.
Stung the home plate umpire. Chris Conroy took that one off the mask. And Hader walking around behind the mound to give the home plate umpire a little time as the Padres wait for their moment to celebrate. And they'll be pretty loud at Petco Park next Friday. It'll be the first home playoff game there in 16 years.
0-2 to Marte. Now Hader leaning in, gets the sign from Nola. Now it's Marte who calls timeout. Some fans might not be in the mood to prolong it any further, but play it right to the last strike. 0-2 to Marte. Hader ready, now the pitch. And a fastball just missed high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hader throwing 100-mile-an-hour darts, as he did during his days with the Milwaukee Brewers. And that was not a popular trade at the time when the Brewers sent Hader to the Padres. 1-2 the count to Marte. Hader sets. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball to third, charged by Machado. He's got it, slings it across to first in time. The ball game is over. And a 101 win season for the New York Mets, which featured such excitement and carried such promise, ends in extremely disappointing fashion as they are beaten in the wild card series 2-1 by the San Diego Padres, who are out congratulating each other near the pitcher's mound. Congratulations to manager Bob Melvin and the Padres. They'll go on to face the Los Angeles Dodgers in the National League Division Series. In the 9th inning for New York, and the Mets were 1 hit tonight in an elimination game. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. The final score, the San Diego Padres 6, the New York Mets nothing. The Padres take the wild card series 2-1. Back to talk about it in a moment on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
Let's go Mets!
Peerless.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Make a difference as a nurse at Vitas Healthcare and earn a lump sum payout after your first year. With our new Difference Maker program, team members who care for patients at the bedside will be rewarded for their commitment with a lump sum payout after they reach their 1-year anniversary. Eligible positions include RNs, admissions RNs, LPNs, LVNs, and team managers. To earn your lump sum payout after your first year, apply today at careers.vitas.com.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney. Offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hey, Nissan, how do you get to the top?
Calculating. Proceed to 1959. Take a hard left in East Africa at the 71 Safari Rally. Veer right for 19 off-road championships in the Baja Desert. Proceed towards Moab. Take the trail to Hell's Revenge. Include steep incline. Continue for the next 1,000,000 miles.
Where to first again?
60 years, millions of miles, and the capability to take you anywhere. This is the new Nissan.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Ready to pop the question? Let your love sparkle with Blue Nile. Blue Nile has helped millions of couples create their perfect engagement ring. Their easy online tools will let you choose the diamond shape, size, and clarity, as well as setting style. Blue Nile's bench jewelers will then handcraft her one-of-a-kind engagement ring, the perfect ring to celebrate your love. Right now, go to BlueNile.com and use code RADIO to save $50 on your purchase of $500 or more with guaranteed free shipping and returns.
Well, back here at Citi Field, the New York Mets season has come to a conclusion way earlier than a lot of us figured. San Diego Padres have shut out the Mets 6-0 to win the wild card series 2-1. And as the remnants of the 39,241 paid who came to Citi Field tonight largely file out silently, there is a small pocket of that crowd behind the San Diego dugout who have been chanting "Beat LA" ever since the last out was recorded when Starling Marte grounded out to third. That is some juxtaposition right now between the jubilant Padres who remain on the field. They're going to salute themselves, take a picture on the pitcher's mound, and this is only the wild card round. And then, of course, go on to the division series against the Dodgers. But before we go any further, just want to acknowledge a few of our sponsors this year on our Mets radio broadcasts, our longtime friends at Sloman's Home Security. Call 1-800-ALARM-ME or visit slomans.com to find out how you can get a free home security system and professional installation. By Ray Katina, your source for luxury electric vehicles. Learn more at electrifiedluxury.com. And by Woodchuck Hard Cider, the brand that started the American cider revolution. Woodchuck Hard Cider, Middlebury, Vermont. Revel responsibly. And after 101 wins, despite the not-so-hot finish to the regular season, but the fresh slate, the start of a wild card series, which featured Max Scherzer, Jacob deGrom, and Chris Bassett. Big part of the Mets' strength on the mound in each of the first 3 games. It's still kind of hard to wrap your arms around this one, Wayne.
Well, plenty of opportunities to avoid this series altogether, and then still you're at home. You've got your best pitchers out there. You should still take care of business. The Mets 101 wins against an 89-win Padre team. San Diego takes the opener. Scherzer has one of the worst outings of his career on Friday. The Mets did bounce back to win last night, but they were completely shut down tonight. Pitching wasn't great tonight either. Chris Bassett allowed 3 runs in 4 innings, but the Mets did nothing offensively. They managed only 1 hit, a single from Pete Alonso. Starling Marte drew a walk, got to second in the 7th inning. That was it. Those are the only 2 base runners in these 9 innings in an elimination winner-take-all game as the San Diego Padres win, and they take it all in this wild card series. They will play the Dodgers. They'll try to beat up their big brother this upcoming week as the Padres and Dodgers play starting on late Tuesday night at Dodger Stadium. But for the Mets, this is a huge disappointment how this last 5 weeks or so turned out as they lose it tonight here 6-0.
You know, Wayne, I'm thinking back to 1988, which was a 100-win season for the New York Mets. That was in the days before the wild card. The Mets played the Dodgers in the National League Championship Series. Was a best of 7, and the Mets had beaten the Dodgers 10 out of 11 during the regular season. And they went into that series knowing how hot Oral Hershiser was, but behind Hershiser, there was nothing that intimidated the Mets about the Dodger pitchers, and yet, and Hershiser was right in the middle of all of it, the Dodgers won that series, and there are still players from that 1988 team that haven't really come to grips with losing that series yet. You win 100 games, you're heavily favored, you don't advance beyond that regular season, losing in 7 in the league championship series. This season, 101 wins ends far before the league championship series, and somehow it feels maybe even more disappointing than 1988, Wayne.
Yeah, I can imagine. It certainly is a humongous disappointment to get to this number of wins, but that's the nature of these short series, this new playoff format, best of 3, and an 89-win team's very capable of winning 2 out of 3 against a 101-win team. Those numbers don't mean anything once the regular season is over, and the Mets just didn't take care of business this weekend against the Padres, and they lose tonight 6-0 in a game where the Mets managed 1 hit in a winner-take-all game. It's the first time in Major League history there's been a winner-take-all game where a team managed only 1 hit.
Well, before we sign off, I just got to tell you something, Wayne. I have been so proud and so happy to watch your development as a Major League Baseball broadcaster. You had that great moment nationally with the call of Albert Pujols' 700th home run. And I just sit back and remember you coming here as a kid from the Midwest back in, 2015. And, to have developed the way you have right now into clearly one of the best young baseball broadcasters in the country. I'm so proud and happy to work with you, and I have a feeling it's going to be tough holding on to you, but very selfishly, I hope I can and we can for as long as you're willing.
Well, I appreciate that and everything you've done for me and the way you've mentored me. I wouldn't be anywhere without the way that you've brought me along here over these last 7 years. So it's a privilege and an honor to sit next to you, and it's been a great year, really. 101 wins to call these games together has been really a season to remember, but it just has a really sour finish here as the Mets lose this one against the Padres tonight, 6-0.
And so, decisions to be made, moves to be made. There's a lot that's going to go on between now and when we talk to you next from Port St. Lucie in February. So keep tuned to WCBS and to all things Mets, to Mets.com, to SNY, to anywhere you get your Mets information. It's going to be a busy offseason. Eventually, the sting will wear off to some extent. There'll be a taste, but that taste will be one that will create a mandate to make things even better, I'm sure, in 2023, and hopefully that's the way it'll go for the Mets, Buck Showalter and company. And again, Wayne, this is going to be a different-looking club when we get to Port St. Lucie, and I'll be watching very interested to see how it how it shakes out.
Yeah, think about the guys who made their marks this year in big ways, or even the last few years. Brandon Nimmo's a free agent. Edwin Diaz is a free agent. Jacob deGrom certainly will be a free agent once he opts out of that contract. And then some of the other ancillary guys who made some big waves this year for the Mets, guys like Seth Lugo is a free agent, or Chris Bassett, or Taijuan Walker. I mean, guys who really were a big part of the Mets' success this year that will either need to be re-signed or replaced to make this team a contender again. And it won't be easy in the National League East next year either, because the Atlanta Braves have everybody coming back with the exception of Dansby Swanson, plus whoever they add. So the Mets are going to have to work real hard to make sure that they have a chance to contend in this division for years to come. Finals totals, we'll give you the final totals here for the Padres if you need them. 6 runs on 10 hits, no errors. They left 8 men on base. The Mets, no runs, 1 hit. Go ahead. No errors, 2 men left on base. The winning pitcher is Musgrove. He worked 7 innings, allowed just 1 hit. Musgrove was electric tonight, and it was certainly a moment in San Diego Padres history again, delivered by Joe Musgrove, the man who has thrown the only no-hitter in their franchise's history, now has picked up one of the great postseason performances in Padres history. He beats Chris Bassett in a game that took 3 hours and 5 minutes. 39,241 in attendance tonight as the Mets season ends. 102 wins, including the one yesterday, but not enough even to get out of the first round of the playoffs, the wild card round. The final score in this deciding game was the San Diego Padres 6, the New York Mets nothing.
New York Mets baseball is a production of WCBS 880 in conjunction with the New York Mets. Extreme thanks to our executive producer, Ray Martell. Production assistance by Nick Valastro and Captain Jack McCarthy. And in probably, 12,786 straight games going back to 1993. Our producer, engineer in the booth, and we could never thank him enough and tell him how much we appreciate him, the immortal Chris Matchkowski. Our next broadcast scheduled to be on Saturday, February 25th, 2023 from Port St. Lucie. Who are they playing anyway? Do we know yet? Well, whomever. We got a few months to figure out all the particulars. But for Wayne Randazzo, Brad Heller, our thanks to Tim Sheld and everybody at WCBS and to everybody at the Mets. I'm Howie Rose. Thanks for joining us. Once again, the final score, the San Diego Padres 6, the New York Mets nothing. The Padres take the wild card series in 3 and move on to play the Los Angeles Dodgers in the division series. Stay tuned. Wayne's coming right back with a post-game show on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, driven by your Tri-Honda dealers.
New York Mets baseball is sponsored by your local Honda dealers. Contact one for a great deal today. Bigelow Tea. Grab a mug and tea proudly. Flag and Anthem. Premium clothes without the premium price tag. The Rothenberg Law Firm. InjuryLawyer.com. Burden LLP. Accountants and advisors. Your Tri-Acura dealer. Peerless Boilers and Pavilion Tankless Water Heaters. Visit PeerlessBoilers.com to find a dealer near you. The League Dating App. Date intelligently. National Grid, here to help you save this season and every season. Berkeley College, preparing students for careers for over 90 years. Mount Sinai Health System, we find a way. The New York Lottery, get out there and play. TicksSuck.org. Ticks suck, but being outdoors shouldn't. Mike's Amazing Mayonnaise, the official mayo of the Mets. Mayo just got real. And by the Vision Zero Initiative, reminding you that speeding ruins lives. Slow down.
Welcome to a late-night edition of What If, the show where I, Jake from State Farm, answer your insurance what-ifs. We've got Sean on the line. What's up?
Hey, Jake, what if I'm too stressed about my coverage to sleep? Like, what if I don't have enough? Or what if I need to change it?
Oh, if you can't sleep, just give us a ring. We're available 24/7. At State Farm, we're there for your what-ifs.
Oh, great. What if I just take a little nap?
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Call or go to statefarm.com for a quote today.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
Hosting your own radio show, choosing the music, taking callers to chat about any topic. That right there is the dream for a lot of people. But with AMP, it doesn't have to be just a dream. AMP allows people to create live, unfiltered radio shows. Choose a title, create a playlist, and start your show. And if music isn't your thing, you can react to news and pop culture, give your hottest sports takes, and even take calls from people listening in real time. Download AMP today in the App Store. That's AMP. Or ask, Alexa, play AMP.
Earn a lump sum payout after your first year at Vitas. Our Difference Maker program recognizes nurses for their commitment to care for patients at the bedside. Apply today at careers.vitas.com and receive your lump sum payout after year one.
Share the savings at the Jcpenney Friends and Family Sale. Through Sunday, use your coupon to rack up an extra 30% off fall essentials for your closet and home, like dress-up apparel and shoes for the family up to 40% off. Plus, Home Expressions bath towels, solids, and stripes, only $4.19 with coupon. Come one and save all. Shopping is back. Jcpenney offers good on select styles through 10/9. Exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
This is Jacob deGrom. The home for Mets baseball in New York is also your go-to station for news, traffic, and weather. WCBS 880.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
This is the Mets postgame show on the WCBS Mets Radio Network, sponsored by Local 3 IBEW and NECA New York, the right choice. And by New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. Visit them at mynycb.com. Smashburger, 100% certified Angus beef burgers, fries, shakes, and more. Burke Rehabilitation Hospital, a member of the Montefiore Health System. The Lake Law Firm, bringing justice to the masses. Visit covidtaxmoney.com today. Infinity of Inglewood. Visit infinityofinglewood.com for all of your automotive needs. 844-REACH-NJ. Always here, always live. Orland and Cohen Orthopedic Group. We've got specialists for that. And by Daikin. For clean, cool air, rely on Daikin Air Intelligence. Now, here's Wayne Randazzo.
Now, this season comes to an end for the New York Mets in an early and unfitting way as they get shut out on one hit by the San Diego Padres tonight. It was 6-0 at Citi Field. This winner-take-all game is taken by San Diego as the Padres use their starting pitching to really push through the weekend. Yu Darvish was excellent on Friday night. The Mets got to Blake Snell yesterday. But tonight, Joe Musgrove, the San Diego area native, pitches the Padres to one of their biggest wins in franchise history. A Padre franchise that has not had a lot of October success. They've won a couple of pennants, one in 1984 and one in 1998. And if they're going to win the pennant in 2022, well, it's going to be in large part due to their starting pitching. And it was Musgrove tonight taking care of the Mets. The Padres now have a date with the Dodgers, and they'd love to knock off their arch rivals, the 111-win Dodgers, in a series that will begin Tuesday night in the National League Division Series, which will take place exclusively in Southern California. The Mets will not be a part of it as they get knocked out in the wild card round. The Mets falling short of winning the division by way of tiebreaker against the Atlanta Braves as both teams won 101 games, but the Braves beat the Mets more in the regular season based on the 3-game sweep that happened in Atlanta last weekend. That put the Braves in the division series. It put the Mets in this wild card weekend against the Padres, where The home teams lost 3 out of the 4 series. Only the Cleveland Guardians were able to handle their home field advantage as the Phillies took care of both games they played in St. Louis. The Mariners won 2 in Toronto, and the Padres take 2 out of 3 from the Mets here at Citi Field, as the Mets still have not clinched anything in this ballpark, as they have not won any sort of postseason series clinch or playoff berth clinch here. That remains the case as the Padres win tonight 6-0. And in the 2 winner-take-all games that have been played here at Citi Field, the Mets have been shut out in both. The 2016 National League wild card game, Madison Bumgarner gave up 2, 3, 4 hits that night. It was not much, as the Mets were shut out by the Giants in that game. And now tonight they get 1 hit by the Padres, mostly by Musgrove, but Robert Suarez and Josh Hader pitched the last 2 innings of this one as well. Mets fell into an early hole. Austin Nola